And we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a special episode. I have with me a great, fascinating guest by the name of Ameera Kara. She's a doctor from Israel, a Druze doctor, who's also running and managing with other doctors the whole operation between the Syria and Israel, helping the Druze and the Christians in Syria from the medical response in Israel and the whole war room and medical room. And there's a lot of fascinating questions that I have for this dear guest. So, Ameera, welcome to the show.
Hi,
It's good.
thank you.
Ameera, maybe
Yes.
just to jump quickly and tell us quickly what is your role? What are you doing in Israel so that people can understand back home?
Yeah, so basically, after the terrible tragedy that we saw in Syria with the minority in general, but also with the Druze recently, we decided that we cannot stay silent. It's one of the things where we're taking part of sending medical items, medication, all kind, in order basically for them to to survive. It's the basic right that every human right has to have. And so, me and another doctors, we decided that we want to take part of it. And basically, we open emergency room where we sent thousands. I think even 10,000, more than 100,000 items in less than 48 hours to Syria.
Wait, more than 10,000?
What more than 100,000 medication items into
Wow.
Syria in less than 48 hours. That was immediately after the tragedy that we saw, the beginning of the tragedy. And then we decided that we want to take a move forward and to help as much as we can. And this is basically how everything started.
Wow. So, the Syrian government started assaulting the Druze in
Hmm.
Venezuela and the Christians,
Right.
sieged them, and started basically ethnically cleansing, killing, kidnapping, raping,
Absolutely.
burning. We've seen
Hmm.
October 7 only nonstop, ongoing for like 12, 14 days. Then you guys, as doctors from Israel, started this initiative to send immediately medical supplies
Hmm.
as fast as you can.
By the way, Mansour, I have to tell you that after October the 7th, I will be more than glad if you can share it. Immediately, a day after October the 7th, in my backyard, just in my garden, I opened also an emergency room where we helped it to get not medication though, but it was like emergency room food, Druze food. You know how good the Druze food is, and to send to all the soldiers and the army people, all the IDF, all the way from the north all the way to the south, and it was amazing. So it was close enough. The only thing is that we here in Israel we have a lot of support by the IDF. We can kind of the country know how to deal with such a situation, but the Druze, unfortunately, they're not country. They're just minority, and the Christians as well, and therefore they need our help to basically to survive.
That's true. The Druze and the Christians and other minorities in Syria, the Yazidis, the Alawites, and others,
Hmm.
they are very fragile, oppressed minorities. And not
Right.
only that, they don't have their own country to support them, they
Hmm.
have their own country who's trying to kill them.
Right.
That's like Syria in a nutshell. And that is
Absolutely.
really crazy. There's so many questions I want to ask you. It's unbelievable. Just the fact that you are a Druze female doctor in Israel running this operation, and but one question first. Um, I think many people got shocked about what's happening in Syria when they saw the image of the Druze young girl who was shot in the face.
Right. Hala.
And
Yeah.
what's her
Mm.
name?
Hala Khatib.
Hala Khatib. And I heard that she was later on brought to Israel from Syria, and there they treated her, but also that her entire family, or big part of her family, was murdered basically in the same occasion that she got shot in the face. Do you know anything about the story?
I can tell you that I was behind bringing Hala Khatib with a lot of humble and thank God. And through His mercy, we managed to bring her to here to Hadassah Medical Hospital, where we basically helped her to get her medication. The situation that Hala, this kid, was in, reminded us of the what the Jewish basically had in the past. It's no less than massacre. It's something that even when she was telling me her story, I was shocked that people can be that evil. You cannot even imagine, even at our worst ideas, we cannot imagine this kind of cruel and devilness in these people. So unfortunately, I understand what you're talking about, and so I had a long conversation with the Ministry of Health, telling him that we are in a huge need for the support of the hospitals here in Israel in order to help the minority in on the other side.
So you contacted the Ministry of Health in Israel to help the minorities, and you were behind bringing that girl to Israel to receive
Yes.
treatment. Do you mind telling us a little bit what happened to that girl so the people back home can understand the story?
Yes, so basically, all her family was murdered by ISIS, who they claim to be nowadays the Syrian government and officers, and therefore they murdered the whole family. She was hiding in a closet, and therefore, although she was injured, right? Okay, from in her eyes, all her face, she needed rehabilitation, plastic surgery all the way in her face. But still, I mean, now she's in a better situation because they have to go all through her airway to fix through a lot of surgeries where Israel took part of all these surgeries. And so she was hiding in the closet, and therefore she survived. After I saw the pictures, I tried to find somebody basically who know her, who know the family. And I started because this is what I have been doing in the last also 2 months. um, this is what we're doing. We're bringing patients basically where they don't have enough medication or treatment in Syria to Israel in order to get the best we can. I mean, in the sense of making them alive.
Wow. So that girl got shot in the face while hiding in the closet. She miraculously survived. Her entire family got massacred. And then when we all saw that video with her sitting in the hospital, and they actually said, even, I'm not so sure she understands that her family was slaughtered yet. And then you
Yeah.
started working on bringing her to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, forgive me for the question, but Sweda is not connected to Israel, and she was attacked in Sweda, right? In that
Right.
region.
Yes.
Did you manage to bring her to Israel?
So we are managing to bringing not only, yes, we're managing to bring almost every day patients in unfortunately the same way that a lot of them escape in the past. The same way we're doing it together with the IDF, who's doing a huge work with us. I mean, we have to stop and thank Israel, because if Israel wasn't exist, most likely there would be no not even minority in the not I think not only in Syria but in the Middle East. Israel
Wow.
is the only place, yes, and I'm saying it, and I'm sorry to say that because it's really sad. Just today, 2 hours ago, I got another conversation from Kurdi. I had last podcast. I have somebody who's Alawi, and now and today I have Kurdi. Every day I get messages and people who are trying to connect me in order to get our help in the medical issues where they're only try to protect their lives. And I'm saying like God's mercy. I mean, this is why this is why we're doing what we're doing, right? Because we want to help these people.
Wow. So Israel is now helping Christians, Kurds, Alawites, Druze, citizens of Syria, and they need to even smuggle them out of Syria under the Syrian regime's nose so you can save their lives. because not only is the government there is not engaged in taking care of these people, they're actually the ones who are killing these people. And as we're speaking right now, El Shara, which is an Al Qaeda terrorist, is walking
Right.
in the US and going around and meeting with US representatives pretty close to 9/11, basically. I mean, it's crazy how fast Americans forget. In general, not only Americans, but people forget history. Like, there was a terrorist organization that came and attacked you, killed thousands of your people in the fall of the towers, and then started a holy war against your people, kidnapped hundreds of your people and killed them, and still ongoing. And now one of these terrorists conquers a government, start ethnically cleansing Christians and Druze and minorities in that country, and then he goes to the US to meet. I find this
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But I think after what happened the last couple of days, I think the Americans quite understand that we're dealing with the same, basically with the same radical
You mean what happened with
ideas.
Charlie Kirk, or what are you
Yes,
talking?
Charlie
That's a
Kirk.
cra- that's a crazy one. I I'm very
Because
close.
mhm.
I'm very close to a lot of Christian friends because when I grew up basically in an evangelical, call it, or in a Christian church.
Funny
And
enough, I was the same thing. So we have the same. I was
really,
raised also by yes by and I sent them hi. I told them to watch the live Joel and Pamela Bell, and I was raised by them since I remember myself. Basically, they're also believers, two believers.
wow. What's
Yeah,
the name again? Joe and what?
Joel and Pamela Bell.
Joe and Pamela Bill, and they're both believers, Christians. And wait, I need to wrap my head around this. So you're a Druze, you're a doctor, you're living in Israel, and you were raised kind of, with a Christian believer family.
Yeah,
Now you're,
they raised me since I was like 8 years old, 7 years old. Yeah.
wow, in the
Yes.
village in Dalia or
They
where?
used to live, so they had a huge work. They used to help the Jewish to make aliyah to Israel. And they used to have a lot of connection with all the Christians all around in the world. And so they lived in Jerusalem. So most of my childhood was in Jerusalem. Yes.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
actually, it's a crazy story how Israel is a crazy country. I ended up becoming the youth leader for the Christian movement in Israel
Wow.
for like
Good for
9
you.
years. Yeah, yeah, and I voluntarily all, but I used to take their kids and hike the desert with them and teach them the Bible
Wow.
where it happened. And they hated me when I did it because I used to make really hard hikes for them. Like, I would look at the mountain and I'll see what's the easy way to go to the mountain, then we'll go the other way. And then I'll have the staff hide for them, some nice yummy snacks and stuff upstairs. But when we get there and they're like about to die out of like pain and this, then we'll read a verse that is related to that. But through that, I got to know one of the most amazing group of people that I've ever met, which is the born
Mhm.
again Christians, call them the
Born
believers,
again. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
they go by many names. And for me, it was very
All
fascinating.
my value. Yeah, because they used to ask me, how did I get my, you're probably the same, how did I get my education and the values? It's because of the faith that I was more than happy to be explored to and to see
Wow,
and to witnesses. Yeah. So
really?
it was amazing, amazing seeing it's so pure that you can only fall in love with the spiritual. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember myself sitting there. I was 7 years old. I know no words in English, and I just listening to the biblical stories and having, yeah, sharing the holidays with them. So it was quite cool.
Wow. That is so true because I can easily say as a Druze that the Bible, Jesus have completely changed my life because that was one of the first times that I've met people that I felt that they were living faith genuinely because it was something personal, not
Mhm.
because it was something that was told to them they have to do it. And it was just fascinating for me. And I started reading more about it, getting to know them. And a lot of the activities that I did were inspired by, very impressive role models, bringing us back to what happened to Charlie Kirk now. And I think it's tragedy. We're kind of going sideways, but I was thinking the other day about it. I think who I think is the biggest victim of the Charlie Kirk assassination? His son. I feel like the
Yeah.
biggest one that lost the most is his
Hmm.
son. His son
Absolutely.
is doesn't really know him yet. He's too young, and all the world is remembering and seeing what a great man was Charlie, because we were around when he was alive and we saw it. And now everybody's seeing what he did. But his son will grow up missing on this most beautiful thing of getting to know his father and
Hmm.
getting to really live and learn from his father around. He will only hear about his father from videos and from his mother and from others. And I feel like, that terrible crime not only shattered a lot of hearts in America, but it was just such an evil thing to do, to kill a father in front of his family, and just because you don't agree with him. Just anyway, that's just something that was
Yes, I
going through my
agree.
as a
Absolutely
father.
agree.
I was looking at it. But back to Syria now. So
Hmm.
you started helping patients from Syria to enter Israel. Can you give us
Right.
a little bit of an understanding of the scale? How much we're talking about? Like once a month, one patient a month?
Oh, no, no, no. When this first started, it was like every day, bringing 3, 4 patients a day. So we're talking about like yeah, something like hundreds monthly.
Mm-hmm.
We used to bring a lot of sometimes three, sometimes eight. I remember I had one day we had to bring more than eight patients a day, and it was
80?
crazy because 8 patients a day.
Okay.
So, but it was good because we had the support from the Ministry of Health, and they understand. But then at some point, and I totally understand, they said that okay, hey, we need to be more like we have a category where maybe some patients can be healed on the other side, and then we can like send them medication, whatever is needed. The thing is that when you are in such a situation, you try to do your best to run away, to escape. Even for me, it felt like they're trying to come here to get some like oxygen and then go back and deal with whatever they're dealing with. So I'm like, my heart is broken because seeing them, hearing them, it's just like nothing to do. I was like, this is like, I don't know. It feels like God gave me the power to help as much as I can, and then it was like things are going crazy. We managed to help. I think no doctors in Israel ever helped the way I did this last. So I think it was a good thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here, I have a question here from the crowd, and I want to put it here. Allah Farhoud
Okay.
Naim. I'm not so sure if he's from Syria or not, but he's asking if you are from Syria, let us know. But he's asking a question. My grandmother, a diabetic patient, relies on insulin, which is no longer provided. Her condition has worsened, especially her legs. Is there any urgent support or assistance available for her? From your knowledge, I want to bring it down, to practical solutions. Are we still sending
Yes.
medicine?
Yes, and I would be more than happy if he can send me or send you her I like her where is she located, more information about her, her name, something we can manage maybe to send, because I know that the last week I sent couples of diabetic medication, and I think there's a lot of them in the hospitals. We just need sometimes to do the logistic issues because they don't always have internet or phones or things like that. So I believe it's something we can definitely manage to help.
All right. Well, Farhood, if you hear this, سامع هنا ابعث لي رسالة في الانستغرام. Send me an Instagram message, or one of the channels, or leave a comment on the video, and we'll try to contact you, and we'll try to see how can we help you. Which leads me to the next question. I've been
Yes.
getting a lot of calls from people from the beginning of the war. How can we
Mhm.
help? And
Okay.
often also, where can I send money to? And I have to say, it was something that was very heavy on me, but I wasn't able to give them any address as of now, because I just
Hmm.
didn't feel comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
all the money wiring options that were going around, and it's just difficult to send things to Syria. It's an enemy
Right.
country, and I didn't want to give. I feel responsible for the people who are coming to listen to my show, and I just
Right.
didn't want. Very hard. I got like messages again and again. How can I help, please? And some people got angry at me, thought I was ignoring them. I wasn't. I was just genuinely trying. I even tried to open an NGO myself, but it didn't work. So I was trying to like see how can I get a proper, transparent way. Now you're telling me
Right.
that there's an organization that you and other doctors in Israel are running, which
Yes.
is known, registered
Yes. Oh,
organization.
legal. You know how things in Israel, you have to be very legal. And
No, I
so
know
yeah,
exactly.
so we decided that because a lot of we were a little bit problematic with the money issue, because everybody suddenly collecting money, but when we didn't have, by the way, we didn't ask for any money, we just asked for medication. But then after we send a lot of medication, people start buying and give us just medication, because I didn't want to deal with money, and I'm still not dealing with money. The other doctor does. But the thing is that when you send people to buy, and then there's a lot of things that you cannot buy unless you have permission, and
Mm,
then you have to speak with the doctors, whatever, etc. And therefore we decided that we want to cooperate with organization. And they are definitely right now, like a week ago, they decided that they do want to get donations. And that's the only way we can keep helping and doing whatever we're doing.
wow. So
Yeah.
listen, I want to get that address so people here who wanna find a way to help. We'll get that in a
Yes.
second. But
Mm-hmm.
here, Ala Farhoud is saying that he is a Druze from Sweda city. So
Okay.
that's
So
great.
Farhood, if you're hearing us, you can definitely go to the hospital, and or what your relative, whoever is in Syria, go there, ask for the medication. If they tell you anything, you can go ahead and contact me, and then I will make sure that we get you whatever is needed to your mom. I mean,
Oh, wow. Well, God bless you, Amira. I mean, it's crazy that we need to do that. Let me give a recap to the people back home
Mhm.
that are watching this right now. Since the war started, basically, we the Druze, there's about a million of us on planet Earth. A very small religion. Majority of us are in Syria. There's an ethnic cleansing going right now on the Druze in Syria and the Christians. And the Druze are the only one that are standing fighting back, and the Christians and Alawites that went to hide among them are fighting with them to basically survive this extremist Salafi Sharia law that they want to implement on them. Now, the Druze there are under a siege for the last more than 50 days. They barely have any
Mhm.
medicine entering, they barely have any food coming, any water supplies. They're struggling. And the only one that is properly helping them right now is Israel. Israel is sending them with organizations like the one that Ameera have established and others, medicine and other way of supplies. And as well, the IDF have helped them defeat the jihadists that came to kill them because they were coming sponsored by the government. And they destroy their tanks and send them running away with their tails between their legs, among alongside with the Druze and Christian warriors that fought on the mountain. But let's be honest, they fought alone against the
Mhm.
entire Arab league almost that came on them. There was, Bedouin tribes and terrorist factions coming from all over the region, from Lebanon, from Syria, from Jordan, from Iraq, from Somalia, from Chechnya, Kazakhstan, all kind of places. They all went there in order to kill and kidnap and slaughter and rape. Now, zooming in right now, I know that you are like you're dealing more with women from Lithuania, right? They feel more
Yeah.
comfortable, I guess, talking. Do
Yeah.
you mind telling us a
Absolutely.
little bit of what's happening there right now with the
So I
crimes and
think, yeah. So I think it's one of the things that I mean, it's really heartbreaking, because Mansoor, I have to tell you that one of the hardest phone calls that I ever got is that a woman crying, telling me that she was raped by this radical Islam group that enter for no reason, by the way, no reason, just because of the fact of your religion doesn't make you. I mean, she
wow.
was just a Druze woman sitting at her house group of radical Islam come to her house, raped her, and then killed all the family, and then continue to rap another women's. Unfortunately, and I'm saying it, and I'm sorry that I have to share it on live, but this is the reality of what happening right now with the women's in Syria.
Wow. And Amira, while you're fixing the camera here, so
I'm okay.
that
Okay.
woman got
So
assaulted and raped by the soldiers, and then she
so
contacted you.
she yeah, she called me. She's saying that hey doctor, I'm sorry for saying that aloud, but I had no, I cannot talk with a man about it. I had to call you, and at the same day I was super busy sending all these medication from the emergency room. We were like, I was sitting on the floor, physically on the floor, just like sending, okay, diabetic, okay, blood pressure. I had like a tough day, and then I tell the rest of my colleague to take care of it, but she said no, she want you, she wants to speak only with you. And then when I got her, I was like, I'm sorry, is it emergency, can I call you, can you like speak with her? She said no, 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 I have to speak with you. And then I told her, okay, I'm listening, and I'm like doing something. When she said that, I just dropped everything, and I said, hey guys, I'm sorry, it's super important, leave everything in your hand, just go grab anything. I'll send you whatever you need to get. And then we had a box, we put everything in that box. I did it myself, like because there was a lot of teenagers there, and like young people who are helping me. So I said, okay, I'll do it myself. I write like a letter for her, I put everything in that box, and I told her, okay, I'm sending it to this place, you go ahead, you took whatever you need from that box, and then give it to the other women's. So it's just like, this is what exactly what happened.
Wow. For those of you who don't know, the Druze religion is a very protective religion over its
Exactly,
women.
very close, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very closed. They don't, you don't have sex before marriage. In general, abortions is not something that is common in that religion because usually men and women will marry and then it stays in the family. And it's a very traditional and closed religion. So for a Druze woman to come and openly even say that she
Take
was
abortion medication. It's not something. Definitely, yes. It was a hard one.
raped
Absolutely.
crazy. And of course, she didn't want to say it to other men, so she chose to talk to you. Wow. Do we know the scale of the rapes that happened? Like, do we know how many victims fell into the rapes of the Syrian regime?
Okay, so we sent for more than me myself. I sent for more than 100.
So you personally sent for more than 100 cases of women who got raped. Only you.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Oof.
believe that the other, I know a lot of people who got it like personally. Anybody who got a related in Israel, that they probably, yeah, we're talking about a lot of. I think we're talking about hundreds of cases.
Hundreds of cases.
Yeah.
From which ages we're talking about, or
You know how the Islamic, unfortunately, radical Islam don't want to talk about that. But their mindset is all about like this. It's making me crazy because it's, you don't do things like that even if you are in a war. It's not. Why would you do? Why would you think of things like that? It doesn't make sense. Killing children or raping women's, it's not something you do through war. It's not,
yeah,
I mean, it's only if you have, if you're super sick, mentally sick. Because I remember when I was a little child, and they used to ask me, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I used to tell them I want to be a doctor because I want to help people physically. And after what I'm seeing in the last couple of years, I think we need to help people heal mentally, not only physically.
yeah.
And it's one of the things that I mean, it's no less than being yeah. being brainwashed in a very bad way.
It's barbarism. It's neo jihadi. We call it kind of behavior, but it's not neo. That's what people misunderstand. There's something that has been happening all across the Middle East, predominantly under Muslim conquest of the Middle East and the use of sex as a tool for conquest, for defeating, for destroying morale was highly, highly used and adapted by many of these Muslim factions. And the ones that we're seeing today, ISIS, Al Qaeda, the Syrian regime, Palestinian Authority, and stuff like that, that these tactics that they're using, it's nothing new to them. It wasn't new to me because I used to be in the army and I was facing them. But I think the world now, that's what surprised me when it came so publicly and they literally live stream themselves and make it so publicly and take pride of it. They just show videos of how they just murdered a Druze family and have the kids stepping over the
Right.
blood of their parents and then taking these daughters and then filming themselves on the way with the daughters as loot of war.
And
I knew these things were happening and it was hard for me to explain it to people because imagine you're sitting in a Friday evening with friends in Berlin or in the US, listening to
right.
jazz music, and then you want to start telling them about all the evil, wicked stuff that I've seen through my life.
This
And
is
most
it.
of them will be either shocked or won't listen.
This is
But
it. The good thing about the Druze, you probably know that that they enter to like the ones that live in the U.S. or any country in the world. They don't try to be Druze in their like traditions. They become Americans, but Druze in their religion. Like what happened in Israel, we're Israelis, super Zionists. Because nowadays we understand that if Israel doesn't exist, uh, most of the Druze wouldn't be exist. We have
crazy.
definitely the we have to fight for this country. Otherwise, we are in a huge problem.
Hmm.
But I was saying that I see I have a lot of I wake up and I have messages every day from doctors who are Christians, Arabs, Muslims, Jewish. This is what good in Israel because we I know I speak three languages, so I'm like I have a lot of friends, but I'm saying that unfortunately the Islam don't try to be part of the nation. They want to bring their own traditions to the nation they are living in. And it doesn't work like that. If you live in Israel, you have to speak perfect Hebrew, serve Israel, give whatever you need to protect this country, as well as if you live in the U.S. You have to understand. Otherwise, why go live in some Arab countries? There's a lot of Arab countries. Why would you live in Europe or in the U.S.? So for
Hmm.
me, they're trying to make their own traditions in a places where it doesn't work like that. You can I mean you can pray whatever you want and however you want, but don't try to make this religions in the country you're living in. Doesn't work like that.
Let me ask you a question, Amira. As a Druze woman coming from a minority,
Mm-hmm.
are you glad that you were born and raised in Israel?
Absolutely, yes. Thank God. Yes.
It's crazy, right? I feel the same. I feel that it was one of the luckiest things that I didn't have any choice in. I was just born in a great country that actually empower us, take care of us. You are a living example of that. Like you are a young, successful Druze doctor that is doing amazing work and
Yeah.
empowered by the state of Israel, by the Christian values and the Druze values and the Jewish values that he grew on. It's amazing. It's a bit of a shame, I think, for Islam that minorities like us don't say that about Islam. You don't meet a lot of minorities who will come and tell you, "I'm so lucky. I was born in Afghanistan. I was born in Iraq. I was born in Egypt."
Right.
I don't hear them
Right.
say, "I was so lucky I was born in Jordan," because minorities suffer in these places. You hear people saying, "I'm so lucky I was born in America. I'm so lucky I was born in Israel." Nowadays, they're not so lucky being living in Europe, I have to say.
I'm so lucky I was able to be born again or to come to faith in a young age.
Yeah.
A lot of
Wow.
people, yeah. A lot of
That's amazing.
people get sick. Yeah, I mean, it's those one of the things that you thank God you got this in a young age. So
Mhm.
you can deal with all these crazy things that we're living in the Middle East, because it's not easy. It's a trauma you get to see every day.
No,
Yep.
undoubtedly, one of the things that helped me the most in my military service and with everything, there was a verse in the Bible that says, "Don't let the sun go down on your anger." And
Wow.
I know it's Hebrew,
Yes. Amen.
but when I read that, I remember I felt like if there's any grudge or any pain or I wronged someone, because we were in the army, we were in a war zone. Sometimes we yell at each other, and
Right.
sometimes you're very blunt with some of the soldiers because you need things done, otherwise people die. But then I realized sometimes I might have offended someone, crossed the line, or said something wrong. So I took that verse to heart, and that was one of many. And I would every night before I go to sleep, I'll just call everyone that I think that I've might offended or wronged, and I'll tell them I'm sorry. I just want to let you know it was nothing personal, and
Wow.
I'll explain, and we have a talk, and then I'll go to sleep with a clear conscience. Clear
A good for
conscience.
you.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and
it.
it's something that I took from this,
Pray
Christian and Jewish.
pray for your enemy. Yeah.
Pray for your enemies. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I prayed for my enemies and then I went and beat the crap out of them. But usually,
Yeah.
if one of them will surrender and choose to be a nice guy, I won't use violence.
Right.
But that was part of the job. It was hard for me being an officer in the special forces when I realized how can I take an example from, let's say, Jesus. And I said, he was a very peaceful man and my job is very violent. But actually, I came and I learned when I did that, I said, wait, Jesus, let's go right now. He is the leader. He is the God that came, in flesh. And he chose to wash the feet of his disciples. So
Amen.
someone with such authority humbles himself to wash the feet of his disciples. Who am I not to serve my soldiers? So I
Exactly.
started
I
doing.
had this. It's crazy. I had the same conversation with Joel last time I was in March, and he teach you how to stay humble. He it's like a lesson where you have to stay humble no matter what. Even
As a
like
doctor,
sometimes mhm, you
yeah,
you
I
pray
guess.
for power, and all of the sudden like you see people being healed in your hands, and God is giving you like sending you angels to help you, like you what you're doing with us.
No, I
um and there's a lot of things that you witness, but all the time you have to remind yourself that glory goes to God and not for you. Like you're just a good servant, that you're trying to do good work for this short period that you are in, and that's it. Like this is how this is huge. This is, I mean, I never met you. I never knew that. I know no believers, honestly, all around me. But in the last, I mean, month, when I used to tell them about my story, a lot of Druze who never even heard, and they would be, yeah, tell us more. We can see things, like we can witness things, and they would be, tell us more. We want to listen. And
that is the most
for
beautiful.
me, it was crazy. Yeah.
That is beautiful about the Jewish religion. I remember when I was thinking about it, I was like terrified of telling my parents that I'm thinking about other religions and I want to learn more about Judaism and Christianity.
Oh
Terrified,
my goodness. Yeah, my mom
terrified.
used to be. Yeah.
And no, but here's the thing: like I kept it secret, and I was like reading about it and thinking and going to like different Bible studies, and I was going to synagogue, and I was going to the Druze Chilwe as well, and I was like really
Yeah.
trying to learn. And then at
Trying.
the
Yeah.
age of 21, I decided I want to talk to my parents about it, and I thought this is gonna be the hardest conversation I will ever have in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, my mom is a religious woman, very proud woman, and my grandfather was a religious leader and a politician leader. I went and I told my mom and my dad, and my mom looked at me and says, "I knew all along." And I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
And my father says, "Yeah." My father's like, "Good." I alaikum, and he just went aside. But my mom came and told me, "I see that it makes you a better person, and I'm happy for you." And I,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. This
and
is
that's
This
In,
is
in
different.
insane, insane. But that's one of the beauty also about the Druze religion. People don't understand. It's a very tolerant religion, despite being very traditional. If you will walk as a Christian into a Druze village, they will tell you, "Tell us more." If you walk as a
Exactly.
Jew,
Exactly.
tell us more about it. How do you pray? Can we pray with you? You know,
Exactly.
and they will accept you as you are, and that's what makes that religion super super special. Our small precious Druze religion, who is right now under a serious
Mm,
threat of being
attack.
wiped out and
Yeah.
annihilated, and thank God for Israel and for Christians around the world that are standing alongside, and for Christians in Syria that are standing shoulder to shoulder with the Druze brothers and sisters and defending their home.
Hmm.
You know, I want to
I
bring
need
it
to
home.
tell you that I'm
Yes.
sorry that I made a video, like a short video. I think it was like a month ago, where I said my opinion. I sent a voice to Trump, the best leader in the world. I said, in my opinion, the leader of the free world, and I asked. I really wanted to go to the Congress and speak about it and let them see what's going right now with the Druze, because I deeply believe that there is no enough communication with the Druze there, or even videos, or like I'm listening to that, and I'm almost positive that people in America, most of them doesn't know what is happening right now with them. Plus, they don't know how servant they are. God will bless those who bless Israel. They have been serving in the army for the last, like, what, 70 years almost. So, I mean, it's one of the things that we should speak it out loud. And yeah, so that's one of the things that I was doing also in the last like
100%
2 months.
agree. And you know what, guys? If you're listening to this, a call to action. If you have any contact with people in the U.S. Congress, with people in the lobbyists around there, in the government, that can help us bring someone like Ameera to go and talk and explain about the Druze, please pull some connections. Help us do this happen. I am getting fed up of watching Pierce Morgan's show and Joe Rogan, I don't know what, and seeing anti-Semites going around his show and telling the world about the Druze and Israel. Why don't you call Druze themselves to come and talk about the Druze? Let us come and talk about ourselves. But instead of that, they're calling all kind of people like Dave Smith and all kind of weirdos to go and explain what is happening about the
Like,
Druze rather than just calling Druze. So if someone knows someone, we have people like Ameera who's ready to go there. She has perfect English. She can come. She's a doctor. Help us, please. Call to action. And I want to continue the call to action here. Opa!
oh,
Good evening, heroes and heroes.
My mom is going
Yay.
to spread on me now for doing little leash. Khalifa
How
just
you
joined
doing, guys? Yeah,
Good,
how
man.
are you? I'm
where have you
preparing.
been?
I'm preparing my Arabic Druze cast. So I said maybe I saw that you are broadcasting on my channel as well on Khalifa
Yes.
Shrag,
I thought I would get
and
you that way.
thumbs up. Thumbs up. Great. I love it. So, to all your Arabic speaking audience, please join us. And we're going to be live in a few minutes. And Amira, so great. I've been listening, like, I've been here for quite some time. You're amazing. You
Thank
two
you.
guys are doing amazing job. I love you.
Thank
Goodness, so
you.
glad. So now Khalifa joined us, but I want to still nail that point. Amira, give us a landing page or something that people can know about your organization and how can they
Yes.
help. And I want to say this to the crowd. This is a direct way of helping the Druze and the Christians in the area of Sweden and southern Syria. We're talking about sending them medical supplies that will attend their needs from the hospitals to the badly injured all the way to the victims of sexual assaults, kidnapping, etc. Amira is hands on, boots on the ground, doing that in Israel as an Israeli Druze doctor. So, Amira, tell us, how can people who are watching right now find a way to help?
So I will be. Thank you, Mansour. You and Khalifa are doing a great job with all these. I mean, you are the only podcast that we can lean on as a Druze nation. But definitely, it's something that we cooperate with an organization where we basically collect donations, either buy with them medication and send to Syria, or we bring patient and then we pay for their treatment. That's unfortunately the only way we can do it right now. And I would be more than happy to send you, and you can publish it on your channel. It's bank account details, things like that. So we're good. I can definitely send it to you.
Okay. And which hospital are you guys working from?
So we're basically working with a lot of hospitals, Hadassah, Tal Shumer, Schneider, Willinson. A lot of them are willing to Echilov, Rambam. That's a lot of names for Israeli hospitals that we will be more than happy to cooperate. We already sent before, and we're willing to send in the future.
Wow, that's amazing. Ameera, so you said that you are in direct touch with the people in the hospitals in Sweden. Now, we all
Mhm.
witnessed this horrific images of the execution of doctors and medical staff in the
Yeah.
hospitals, patients. Did you happen to know any of the people who got affected? Were you in touch with them before or after?
Yeah, so basically, I think it's one of the hardest things we saw because normally I was raised in a politician family. That's why I know a little bit of politics. But normally,
Kama,
doctors,
your father is Ayub.
yeah, yeah, he was
Ah,
he
Khalifa,
was
I'm
a
such
minister.
a
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
You wanted to keep it a secret. I didn't
I wanted to
tell.
keep it as a
Don't forget,
secret.
last time I didn't know who Wiam was, someone from Lebanon
You-
apparently. So
yeah, well,
Yeah, there
I'm
you
kind of
go.
I grew up in the desert. Forgive me. I was literally half my life in the desert, the other half running around terrorists in the desert. So came out of it. What a new world is happening here. Trying to figure out, and now a war with Syria. Trying to help my brothers. So that's origins. Here's me. Now back to you.
So I quite understand what is happening with the politics, but normally most of the doctors are not like they're not involved in anything regarding politics. You swear to help all nations, all religion, race, like regardless of who you are. And this is so sad because I mean they're doctors, right? It's a medical team. They're not even close to be anything in politics, and then somebody getting into a hospital and shooting them, I mean, never happened during the history. All the time, like medical teams are always aside. You can never, it's not something you do. So I think it was very difficult because, as you said, I had a lot of connections with not with somebody personal there, but a lot of people who saw the tragedy that is happening there, and they were like absolutely shocked, disappointed, broken. There's no word that can even describe what is happening.
Wow, that's insane. It's insane.
Yeah,
Amira, I
but
mean,
I mean, I don't know if you're the people who are watching. Sorry,
yeah, no, no, go ahead.
go ahead. I wanted to tell you that there's a lot of I mean not only Americans but also a lot of people all around who doesn't even know what the Druze are. Who are they? And it's important also through your podcast to tell the history even with the Druze and the Jewish people through the history with like with Moshe and Zipporah all the way like biblically all the way till the day that we
To say like
all the
friends,
time.
Moshe,
Yeah,
Tzipor, Yitro. I
so
love it.
it's also very important that we keep saying that it's we're not like another minority. We had a very strong bond with the Jewish nation all around like thousands years already, and we're willing to fight for this country till we die. I think it's something we all of us agree on.
Mm. Actually, that's beautiful. And to the people back home that are joining right now, we have Ameera. She is a Druze female doctor from Israel. We have Khalifa, who is a Druze
Shepherd.
philosopher and a shepherd from Israel. Real shepherd, actually. I went with him to his where he's the sheep, and it was
Mhm.
just after the Eid al Adha, the big holiday in Israel where they eat a lot of sheep. And he came and told me these are the survivors that survived. And then you have myself, a Druze. So you're having here three Druze people who are proud Israelis, proud Zionists, and it's important that people understand, just like Amira said, the Druze see themselves descended of Jethro, the father-in-law of Tzipporah, the father of Tzipporah, and the father-in-law of Moses. He welcomed and rescued Moses from the desert, taught him the ways of leadership, and then later on allowed him to marry his daughter and sent him with a blessing to walk through the desert and bring the people of Israel into the land of Israel. The Druze since then have been very entangled and connected with the Christians and the Jews and the Muslims who respected them and let them live peacefully. And it's a very peaceful religion that have no incentive to change anyone's life. They don't want to
Right.
convert you. You can't even join. And the contrary, they're basically the perfect migrants, where the moment they come to your country, they're going to assimilate completely. They respect your religion, and they're going to do anything they can to help uh, work and bless your country and pay taxes. Someone here wrote, Amira היא הגדרה של ישראל היפה, which means
Mm.
Amira is the definition of the beauty of Israel. And I'll
Thank
explain, I'll
you.
100% agree, Chaim Haraven, תודה רבה. One of the most beautiful things in Israel is that you get to see people like Amira, who grew up as a minority in Israel and is now a doctor and is working with medical staff and with the government and with the IDF. People like myself and Khalifa, who got to go to the army to serve in the special forces, to become commanders, to work with Jews, Christians, Muslims, doesn't matter what. This is Israel, but that's the Israel they're not showing you back home. Especially if you come from woke, liberal, vegan, tofu kind of regions of planet Earth. There, you don't hear these things. Or if you come from extreme radical Muslim regimes, which is funny that the vegan tofu leftist people and the radical Muslim regimes, they go along very well. No offense to any vegan who's eating tofu. That's just the way that I like to say it. But in general, we're talking about extreme left liberals and the radical Islam. Somehow they go along together, and they're the ones who are spreading all the lies about Israel and about the Druze. And right now, no one is hearing about the Druze because they're trying to silence us. Because by showing the Druze, you're actually showing how great the Jews are and how great the Christians
Well,
are. We're living so
if you allow me just to step in, because I need to start my Arabic broadcast, and I was listening to your
supposed
conversation,
to be
so
in
I
it as
have
well.
what?
Am I supposed to be in that Arabic one as well?
You are always welcome. Mi casa es su casa, amigo.
No, I know, but which one is it? It's with who? Who is in it?
He's called Mazen. I forgot his family name. Mazen Afif, and he's actually a younger Druze person. Came from Sweden, and he fled
Wow.
Syria, the conflicted Syria during the civil war by boat. He arrived. He's basically now in Germany, and he's trying to bring his father to get treatment in Israel because his father is very ill and he's having difficulties. And I wanted to say something. What is truly fascinating for me as a Druze, here in Israel, I was conflicted with my own identity because part of us is very Jewish. Like I sat with your family in the Adha holiday, and everybody spoke Hebrew, fluent Hebrew. Nobody even spoke a bit Arabic. Like your case is a bit special because you grew up in Eilat, which is not a Druze village. But even still, like I grew and born and raised in Dalit el Carmel, and I feel more Ashkenazi Jew, or I participated in Jewish
All of us.
pilgrimage or ceremonies more than I did practice my own religion. So for me, the fascination about the Druze identity was like I lost something somewhere in the way. Being Israeli, I lost something in my Druze identity. And once I started speaking to other Jews living in other places, they look at us like we are the true Jews because we basically have our own freedom to become who we are. And that's so true because our Druze community is very diverse, and each and every one can choose whatever he wants. Like, we don't speak about it that much, but we have even gay Jews. Nobody speaks about it. I know, you know, some people like that, and you know, somehow in the process we are somehow could contain all
I'm
those
sure there is.
things.
I don't know though. I'm sure there is. I don't know though. But maybe
Well,
I do. I do know.
I can tell you offline, and you'll see
Yes,
that is
offline.
very close. It is very close to you. But other thing is that it is very important. I studied journalism. We are both in the media sphere, and what is very important is to understand that people should abandon the mainstream journalism or channels because they always just reflect some sort of agenda that has nothing to do with reality. Like, the agendas of the mainstream media is to hate Israel, and they start by hating Israel, and after that they will address somehow the story, and that doesn't tell the story in any shape, way or form. This is why alternative podcast, free speech, or free thinkers like what we are trying to do here is so valuable, and it would never happen without people like yourself, like your audience. So thumbs up, and I hope you're gonna join me again. And Amira, God bless your soul. You are
Thank
amazing,
you.
and we are
God bless you.
truly admiring what you are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Khalifa.
yeah. Thank you, Khalifa. And by the way, go watch the podcast with him, guys. It's in Arabic, the Druze cast. We're doing me and Khalifa a show in Arabic. We had Amira as well there. We wanna actually no, Amira did it in Hebrew.
I did
On
it in Hebrew.
That she
I did
was
it
right.
in
We should have you there on Arabic because we want
Yeah.
to try to reach. And as you're seeing, we're trying to bring a voice to the Druze people. One of the things that bothered me the most in the last war, where they came to literally annihilate our people, is that we had to beg for CNN, for NBC, for Sky, for all these channels. We had to beg them to report it, and they didn't. And then we had to work day and night, work as hard as we can to reach any podcast, any channel, just so we can bring a voice out there. And we fought to let the world know that we're being massacred. And I felt like we can't have this happen again. Next time they come and try to kill us, we need to have as much voice as we can. And that's why channels like this, that's why the voices like Khalifa and like what Amira is doing are super important, guys. Help us share it, help us bring it to the knowledge of the people in the world. Amira, I want to thank you so much for coming here. I
Thank
was
you.
super fascinated to hear that, you also grew up on the foothills of Judaism and Christian values, and to hear the story about your friends Paul and what?
Joel and Pamela.
Joel and Pamela from Jerusalem in the US. And we thank them for helping raise a daughter like you. We thank your father
Thank
and your
you.
family. It's such a pleasure having you here. Is there any last words that you want to share with us here on the show regarding what is happening, or anything that is on your mind that you think is going to be important for the crowd back home to hear? Please, the mic is yours.
Yes, thank you. So I think I would definitely thank all the people who are trying to do absolutely wonderful job to help the Druze on the other side. Please keep sharing and sharing podcasts like you. Whatever you're doing is huge. It's important to keep updated of what is happening, and to pray for Israel to stay strong, because that's the only way we can help. From our side, we are definitely in a need for more and more people to donate in the sense of medical issues, even if it's medical items, medical all kinds. Like, I think we in a need for all kinds of medication. for the next couple months, because the IDF is definitely reaching out and talking about no less than half a year. So we're quite in a place where I know that I will have a lot of sleepless night in the next coming months. But for me, I would be also asking them to keep the Druze in their prayers and keep them out there shouting whatever is happening, because it's important that to get the Americans' voice. And it's definitely one of the things that this is why we're doing these kind of podcasts. So thank you, and I want to thank you, Mansour.
No, thank you, Amira. And here someone said something funny I have to share. Older, dirty Forest. Anyway, long name, cool name, Hulk Hogan. I like it. Just Google Ayub Kara, who I guess is Amira's father. ChatGPT input to my search. Ayub Kara, Palestinian politician. FFS. It continues.
Palestine.
Ayub Kara is in Israel. Yeah, guys, listen. I said that to the Druze also. Druze from Syria, because they got so used to calling Palestine. There's no such thing as Palestine. Israel is not Palestine. Israel is Israel.
We're
Thank
more
God.
Zionists. Tell them that we're more Zionists than all the Jewish ever.
Yeah, you will see literally. You will see more Israeli flag.
Mansour, I need to tell you this, but my grandfather helped my grandfather and my grandfather helped the Jewish to get lands in here so they can make aliyah and they would come here. Because if you ask
Yeah,
your grandfather what happened here before the Jewish come, it was like what is happening right now with the Druze in Syria. It's they used to rape women and to kill them just because they're Druze. So the three of us definitely is a huge Zionist, and I believe
yeah.
most of the
No,
Jews
that's
are.
true.
Yeah.
If you go to Dalit El Carmel, which is the village of Amira and Khalifa, or Usfia or Mughar, my village, you'll see more Israeli flag and Druze flag than in a Jewish city. That's undoubtedly sure. And I also
Yes.
say a lot of the Jews out
Uh,
there, you've been hearing a lot of lies about Israel. Let me just clear it once and for all. In Palestine, they kill Jews. In Palestine, they kill Jews. In Palestine, they kill gay people. In Palestine, they throw them out of rooftops. They don't
There
accept
is
us.
no
So
basic humans right. There is no
there's
in
nothing
no
there.
Arab country. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now that you're seeing the Druze of Israel coming to rescue, coming to help you, it's because Israel is a beautiful nation and they are together with us. The Jews and the Druze together are working together. And luckily, we live in a place called Israel, not Palestine, which have human rights and equal rights for religions. We're free to practice our religion. So stop calling it Palestine, not Palestine, Israel. Clear your head, please. All the people out there, Chat GPT and etc.
well, speaking of of Ayub, I have some small news outlet, but it says a lot. Well, today we heard the announcement that they appointed Lieutenant Colonel Ayub Kayuf,
Oh,
the chief of
yes,
Golani Brigade, and this is he used to be the chief of Shaldag unit
right.
and the commander of the Shaldag unit, and now he's the
Wow.
commander of Golani Brigade. Someone who is in my age, basically. He started his army service like 4 months before me, and today he was appointed. And uh, be careful to all our enemies
Anyways,
now that we
yeah.
have
Oh,
this
now you're
Druze
screwed big time.
commander.
You, yeah.
And I know a lot of people from Sheldak, the unit, which is like a top commando
Elite.
unit in the Israeli Air Force, and people speak on of Ayub. Like, I don't know him personally, but just listening to the legend that he became and what kind of person he is, and that tells so much about how people see us, the Druze people, doing what we are doing and loving this country, willing to live and die for this country. And it's it's because a lot of good people like Ayub Kayuf, Ayub Khara as well did a lot of good things to our community. And let's hope that we can export this beautiful relationship between Jews and Druze to outside the borders of Israel.
You know
Amen.
what, Khalifa? I'm actually
Yes.
wondering, when I was doing my training to become uh, Israeli pilot, in the IDF, the Gibush for Tais, there was a Druze guy there with me that went to Shaldag after. And I don't remember. I just remember that the guy was like built like a fridge. He was like thick and strong.
Dark
And
skin.
yeah, and he had just so much energy when everybody wanted to die. He was outside, hammering baznatim, running around, carrying people. And I remember looking and I was like, okay, that's a real Druze. That's a
Yeah.
real Druze who grew up in the mountain. Not like me, Druze who grew up in the city. Like he have never ending physical strength and energy. He was just going all around. And then I think our path went away, but I've heard that he got to Shaldag. I went somewhere else. And I wonder if that's this guy. Might be.
Well, if he's a tall, dark-skinned guy, he's very famous. He just finished a service now in Yehudan Shomron, where he was the commander over a very hot front, Tul Karem and Jenin, all
Yeah,
those camps, and basically did like beautiful job. Like you see, he got injured and he literally escaped from the hospital and joined the operation and continued it after he got his blood stopped. He's like, Top Gun
super.
multi
Yeah.
superhero. Yeah.
Like many of our Druze brothers back in Israel, definitely. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, the show is coming to an end. I just want to thank so much again, Amira, for all the work that you're
Thank you.
doing. Please keep it up. And anyone who's watching here, I will leave a link on the video, or either ways, once Amira sent it to me, direct practical ways to help the Druze and the Christians in the mountain of Sweda in southern Syria through Israel. We're going to be more than happy to share that and amplify that. Khalifa, good luck with the Drew's Cast podcast. I'm going to have to go and put my kid to bed, so I might join you later, maybe not. Depends. Usually he
Yeah.
puts me to bed. And either way, guys, thank you for watching. And like I always say, don't do anything stupid. In general, don't do anything that I would do. And in this case, if you see this, and this, and this, well, a lot of injuries all over my body. I face planted while driving my bike in the street of Germany. I went on a train station, got stuck, flew off my bike, smashed into the
Oh
ground
my
with my
goodness.
face.
Oh my
My
goodness.
bike flew out. Yeah, yeah, it was hard. It was hard. I'm surprised I didn't break any bones in my face, but
Oh
it was
wow.
serious. I was sure I did. And I didn't have a helmet. So anyone who's watching this, put your helmet on. Luckily, I got out easy from
It's
that. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, that's one of the reasons I haven't done a few videos in the last few days, just because I looked like I came out of a fight.
Mansour,
So,
if you allow me to say one last
of
thing,
course,
because we are very cheerful. This gathering always puts a lot of smiles, and I really enjoyed it. But as we speak, I wanted to, and if one of your audience could help with that, to bring up shirts with "My sister is abducted by Julani," because as we speak right now, they are made sex slave for those jihadis, bloodthirsty monsters. And this Jolani guy, who is an ISIS guy, sitting now in Qatar and trying to preach about humanity and preach about other things, while our sisters and brothers are kept in captivity and nobody is speaking about them. So please, if you have any way of trying, like to make actual shirts or hats or whatever that is, we should put this thing into the discourse and keep talking about it, because we will not forget those poor girls, because like my heart and soul is with them. Everybody is speaking about everything except for the Druze girls that been abducted forcibly from their houses, from their families. Their villages were smashed and destroyed, and those guys are now the people who actually did that are walking out free and trading or whatever. Like I can't even imagine the atrocities that they are doing right now, but we've seen that, and they are treating them as slaves. So please keep talking about those, our sisters, basically our sisters and mothers and nieces. They did horrible things, and we must keep talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Khalifa.
Sure.
Definitely. And our guest here today is Ameera.Kara. That's your handle on Instagram, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If anyone wants to follow more, I guess you can go and check her out, and we'll keep you guys updated. But thank you so much again for everybody who came.
Thank you.
God bless, and see you next time. And Amira, would love to have you again
Thank
on
you.
our show. I think you have a
Sure.
very, very important and
Pleasure.
beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And we're gonna finish.
Yes, bye bye.
Bye everybody.